Hey guys, thanks for checking out Quick Sessions Podcast. My name is Garrett Terrio, and it's that time of year. It's the World's Strongest Man competition. I don't know if anybody listening to this cares or watches, but your boy right here cares. Your boy loves him some World's Strongest Man, loves him some guys picking up just random stuff and moving it. It's, it's very much a niche sport or competition, whatever you want to call it. But today I'm going to break down the competitors, the events they'll be doing, the betting odds. There's a couple prop bets out there that a lot of people will be interested in, I think. And let's get right to it. So the way they're doing it this year, it's normally 30 competitors. They've qualified throughout the year at these giant live events, but this year it's only 25. So 5 groups of 5, and I will break it down by group. Some names you may have heard of, some not so much. But Group 1 has the reigning champ, the man, the mountain, Hafthor Bjornsson. Now in his group, you got other guys like Rob Kearney, and I guess you may know Luke Stoltman, Great Britain, big guy. Anyway, group's pretty light. The mountain should knock out the group pretty easy. I mean, he's just so big and strong. You know what I mean? There's just no one in this particular group. He'll win it, no problem. He'll probably be number 1 going into the final events, and everybody else is just coming in for second for a chance to take him down in the finals. Group 2, Rob Oberst. He's the American going in there. I don't think he is favored in the groups. I don't have odds for the favors in the groups. It's all in the champion and things like that, and like deadlift numbers is where most of your odds will come in. Group 3, let me see. So here's Group 3. Group 3 is a little interesting because Eddie Hall just decided to retire. Lost like 70 pounds, big guy, got a 6-pack. Now he doesn't want to lift strongman. Why he's retiring at 31? I think he says his life is just better now that he's accomplished what he wants to accomplish. It's pretty early to retire, but I don't blame him. It's a rough sport. It's tough to pick up heavy crap and put it down all the time. But in Group 3, it is headed by a guy who I'm saying keep your eyes out for. He's an American, got some Latvian descent, though. Like his father and mother's from Latvia. Martins Lisis. All right, he's competing for the USA. He came, I believe, 4th last year. But this guy, young guy, I like him a lot. I think he is someone, he's not the size of the mountain. He's not quite there with the strength. But man, he is a guy who has good endurance, big and strong. But the endurance part is something that if you play it right, as he becomes more of a grizzled veteran, you can really see him stepping up into definitely a top 3 spot this year. But for the years to come, really pushing Hafthor Bjornsson and other guys. Group 4, JF Karen. He's good. He finished top 5 last year. Definitely someone to take serious. But like I said, another thing, he's just not the size of these guys. He's just not. Now, this is my second guy to look out for. Mateusz Kaliskowski. Now, the big Poland man. We all know how big they get in Poland, right? Massive guy. Real strong. And the craziest thing about him is he's only 25 years old. He's not going anywhere. He's big. He's fast. He's very similar to the guy I like, Martin Lisis. If I'm mispronouncing the name, I mean, let's be honest. All these guys got some pretty big-time names, to say the least. So I do expect him to win that particular group. Although JF Karen, don't count him out. He's good. He showed he was good last year, but he's got the young bull on his back. Now, Group 5 is the real interesting one. So you got Great Britain's Mark Felix, old grizzled veteran. Somehow he's just always around, no matter what. Just defying time, and not the strongest guy in there, but man, I don't know what it is. Just somehow he's always pulling it off. It's one of those things that, some lift he'll just take it. It's the weirdest thing. I've watched him, was it 2 years ago? It might have been 2017. And for some reason, guys just couldn't get the axle up. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he just comes, does it. Doesn't look like he should do it, but just he gets just enough points to always be around. And he can definitely be some trouble for some younger guys who maybe blow out too early, things like that. And along in Group 5, he's got some young bucks with him too. He's got Trey Mitchell. He's coming out of the USA. He's good. And then this guy from the Ukraine, I believe. Is it Alex? No. I'm sorry. Alexei Novikov. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Alexei Novikov out of the UK. Another real good young guy. They'll be chomping at the bits. This is definitely the most competitive group. And here's why. Because the guy in it is our guy. Team USA, Brian Shaw, 4-time strongman of the world. Arnold Classic strongman winners. Strongest guy in the world. He's going to be the guy. Well, let me segue into that. Segue into, the guys to really watch for that could push Hafthor Bjornsson, a.k.a. the Mountain, in this competition. And the number one guy is going to be Brian Shaw. He's the veteran, still young enough, still strong enough. Any given day, I'm sure these two guys, if they worked out together, any given day, one would be stronger than the other. He's definitely the guy. He's definitely the guy that can push him the most right out of the gate. Now, with Eddie Hall gone and the other guys being so young, it really is a two-headed monster here with the Mountain and Brian Shaw. But other guys will push him. That Mateusz Kwiatkowski, this guy's good. He's good, and he's young, and he's hungry, and he doesn't know he's not supposed to beat these guys. Right? He's probably one of the faster ones. Him and my guy Martin are definitely the quicker strongman. I know it sounds kind of like, who cares how fast they are? But there's so much of, carrying the log carry or anything like that where speed matters. I'm not sure exactly. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. They change the events all the time. So remembering what they're doing, I have a list I'll read off to you guys in a second. But it's big. Endurance is big, especially with this particular contest. This is only going over 4 days. It's normally much longer. I guess they're condensing it for ticket sales. I think it's easier to keep people engaged for 4 straight days instead of 7. It's down in Florida this year, so it's hot. It's not that nice grease weather or anything like that. But this year's events, and I'll just rattle all these off to you. Some of them they've done them forever. Some are new. Some I don't even remember checking out much. Now, I've seen some of these on some lower circuits, but in the World's Strongest Man competition, some of these I haven't even seen. So, just rattling them off. You got the arm over, arm pull. You got the Atlas Stones. Of course, everybody knows the Atlas Stones. Carry and drag, the farmer's walk, the fridge carry. I like the fridge carry. Giant dumbbell press. I can't remember off the top of my head what those dumbbells are called, but this is this massive dumbbell. It's got just the 2 cannonballs on each side. It's got a super big, thick grip. I remember at LSU they had one in the weight room. God, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's not because no one's strong enough to get it, but the grip is so big, you have to have these massive hands, or just be so incredibly strong that it's no problem either way. Next, they got the Husafell Stone. They got the loading race, the overhead log lift, the squat lift, the power stairs, Pillars of Hercules. That's the one where they get the chains on the columns and who can hold it the longest. That's a great one. And the vertical pull. And of course, the deadlift. Let me see what they're deadlifting though. It just looks like the regular. Okay, so they're not deadlifting until the finals. So that kind of brings me into the props, the odds. You want to do a little gambling on the World's Strongest Man? Your boy got the info for you. So right now, you can't bet the guys individually. No book I've seen anyway can. But Hafthor Bjornsson, on some books you can get him at even money, but the field is at minus 130 that I saw. So you put up $130 to win 100. Whereas if you wanted to bet on Hafthor, let's say you could find it at even money, he's minus 110 some places. But the field, that is a low number for the field. I mean, guys get hurt in this all the time, and it's just there's too many strong guys and fast guys and guys that are finishing close enough to him that seems like low odds. But I guess with Eddie Hall out of it, Zydrunas is out of it. Those are 2 champions that aren't in it. And I know Brian Shaw is there. Here's the thing with Brian Shaw though. This guy's been working. He's been traveling. He's got a $100,000 gym at his home to work out, and that's not an accident. You do that when you are ready to be home. You're ready to train all the time. Instead, he's running around to these commercial gyms and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure how ready he is for this. He's a champ. He's going to be ready as much as he can be. But when you're out of your comfort zone so much and you're just on the road all the time, it's got to be brutal. So I don't know how. I know no one's coming into this 100%. What athlete ever gets to the finals at 100%? But I don't know. Maybe it is Hafthor's year, and he's winning everything. I mean, he is hot right now. He's going for legacy at this point. He wants the 5 strongman titles because he's finished top 3, I think 7 times. So he's already, the record's 10, I believe. Something like that. May need to fact check it. But he's on a tear. And for someone to dethrone him, it's going to be tough. Some of the young guys might have to just wait their turn at this point and try to pile up on top 3 finishes. Now, the deadlift, the prop bets. This is the stuff I'm into. So, Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain, has not deadlifted 474 kilograms yet. He made an attempt at it, or it might have been even more. It might have been 500 kilograms he tried to make an attempt at and couldn't quite get it. So the prop bet is, will he deadlift 474 kilograms? I have no doubt he can do it. I feel like I've seen him do it. I'm just not doing the math in my head right now. But he's definitely done over 1,000 pounds. The problem is, if no one's that close to him, which I think Shaw will be close to him, but if no one's close to him, he'll have no reason to go that high. So I think that's where the odds are kind of tricky, because he's at plus 190 to actually complete a deadlift at 474 kilograms or higher, and minus 290 for the no. I would lean yes, because with Eddie Hall out of it, I feel like other guys are going to, not that they wouldn't try 100% anyway, but it's their time, and they may be pacing themselves so that they can get the big deadlift. That's if you're going to win an event, that's the one you want, right? Well, except the last one technically, because it's the finals. But here's another one that I think is interesting. So the record, I think it's 500 kilograms. The odds to break the record of 500 kilograms is plus 350 to break. Anybody. Doesn't have to be the Mountain. It can be anybody. I don't know how many of these guys have a 500 pound, well, none of them have a 500 kilogram deadlift in them. Only Eddie Hall has that. But that record was going back and forth. And right after Eddie Hall's original 1,037 pound record was broke, he broke it again. But then the Mountain did the old record, no problem. So I'm wondering if it's one of those things like once they see it done, they know it can be done kind of deal. So at plus 350, that really wouldn't surprise me. Now, here's the problem. If no one ever has to get to 500, there'll be no reason to lift it. You don't get bonus points. So it would need two things. You could say yes to the 350, the plus 350 for yes, someone to break 500 kilogram deadlift. But if you're going to do that, you may as well bet on the Mountain to do the 474 kilogram, because he's going to be in the final one or two of this deadlift. He'll probably be going last. So if someone's going to break it, I think it'll be him. But it can be anybody. So it's kind of an odd setup. I assume he'll be going last, actually. If he's not, then it'll be real interesting. Especially if he gets his 747 and then someone else has to come after him and ends up shooting for 500. So there's a little gambling talk for you for the strongman. Some of the odds are still up, even though they started today, technically, by the time you're listening to this. But you can still get in there, depending on who you got. Bovada, maybe. I know they have the odds. Some lesser books won't. But who knows? Anyway, that's the preview for it. I'm going to be watching the highlights tonight. Plan on watching it a lot of the day, Friday and Saturday, because I get into it. I like it. I like these guys. Just massive humans, 6'9", 400 pounds. Just doing what we're all trying to do in the gym, right? Trying to get a little stronger. These guys have obviously taken it to an extreme. I'll be pulling for my man Brian Shaw, of course, and Martins Lissus is how it seems. I feel like that's how I've heard it. But I know when it was overseas last year, they pronounced it kind of a different way. So who knows? But I hope he does well. I hope he makes it to the finals. The two American guys, I always like when the Americans can pull it off. The big Polish man and the Icelandic giant are definitely going to be, they're going to be problems. Especially when we don't know what kind of shape Brian Shaw's coming in this year. But the finals are on Sunday. If you want to check them out, it'll be a little shorter. It'll be the main events. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this episode of Quick Sessions. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Quick Sessions Podcast. And please rate and review in the Apple Podcast library. And I will catch y'all next time.